Hello and welcome everyone. This is Anandra Gupta, and today I want to show you guys how you can quickly add your custom domain to Microsoft Azure Active Directory. There could be tons of different reasons why you might want to do this. One being you want to have your personalized user login credentials. Other would be you have your on-premise Active Directory in place with a certain domain, and you want to sync it to your Azure Active Directory. So for that, both domains should be same, and in order to do that, you might want to add your custom domain into Azure Active Directory. Without further ado, I'll just go ahead and show you guys how you can do this. But just keep in mind that there would be two things you might need to be in place before you start doing this. One would be your Azure account, and the second would be your custom domain name. So you can purchase your custom domain name from any third-party providers, but just make sure you have the admin access to it. All right. So here I am logged into my Azure portal. Um, if you don't know how to do that, just go to Google and search for Azure portal login. Right. So go on to the first link, then click on sign in, and you will be directed to your home page, like I am. Right. So what from here where you want to go is Azure Active Directory. So there are again a couple ways how you can do this. One would be from directly here, other would be just search for it, right? So we will go to Azure Active Directory, and as you can see here, this is my primary domain at the moment. This is rather complicated to remember as well. So uh, like something dot on Microsoft.com. So if I have to make a new user, it would be like, let's say my new user is Anirudra. So it would be Anirudra at all of this dot on Microsoft.com. So yeah, like I said, you might want to customize this for with your own organization, right? So how you can do that? It's fairly simple. You just want to go to custom domain names here. Then, as you can see, I only have one domain, which is by default Azure gives us. So I'll go ahead and add custom domain name, and I'll just enter my domain name here. Then I will click on add domain, and it's giving us a text-based record, which we need to add to our domain name provider's DNS, record. Okay. So this is just to verify if this domain actually belongs to you, or in case we might want to communicate with it. So for this, what we have to do is input this information to the DNS record of our domain. So how we can do that is I'll just quickly hop onto my domain provider, and here it is. So this is what I'm using as to get my domain, and whatever you're using, just go to your domain settings and DNS setting or management. Okay. So after that, you'll see this DNS record, and what we're going to do here is click on add and input the information which Azure has provided us. So it was a text-based record. Uh, Name was at the rate. String would be what they gave us, and I'll just quickly go on and copy that. Right. So time to live was 3600. So I'll just go ahead custom and input 3600 seconds, then add record. So after this record has successfully added, you might want to wait a couple of minutes to verify this, because it need to take its time to manage. It says here it would be like effective everywhere in to 48 hours, or something like that. But let's just wait a couple minutes and see if it verifies it. So if I try it right now and it's successful. So yeah, now you have successfully added your custom domain into Azure Active Directory. So now what you can do here is just go ahead and click on make it primary, and this would be your primary domain. But before doing that, I want to show you guys um, what difference will it make. Okay, so let's say I'm going to users and create a new user. So I have to make a username ANI. And now what the user credential would look like is ANI at all of this, which was our default domain. But now we have added our custom domain. I can just go ahead and click here, and the user will be created by this domain. Okay, so instead of changing this every time, what I can do is just make this primary. Again, going to custom domain, clicking on our domain, and click on make primary. So now what it will do is whenever we are creating a new user, it will just add this domain by default. So and I'll just give it my full name, and this would be my login credential. So while we are here, let's just create a new user and see. All right. So if you're not familiar with Active Directory users, there are two type of users: internal and external. External are also called as guest users, and there are also something called some users called synced users, which would be the users which were synced from your on-premise Active Directory to the Azure Active Directory. So what I'm here doing is just making a Azure user for our account, and so we'll just go ahead and create users. If I have to invite a user with existing account, maybe just not in our domain or some other account, I'll just go ahead with the invite user, right? So here I am. Let's give this user a name. Let's say user2. First name, last name, we can skip that. And let me create a password for this. So this would be a password which I'll give the user to enter in order to sign it for its first time. But as by our security standards, which we have set to default, it will ask that user to update the password whenever it's trying to log in for the first time. Rest of the details we can just have them by default and click on create user. So now yeah, this is the user has been created, right? Let's click on it, and this is its email. So I'll just go ahead and copy this and open Azure a new tab. Go ahead here and click on sign in with different user. Use another account and just paste the user which we have made. At this moment, it might not recognize this because we have just created this user recently, but let's try it, and it has recognized. So generally you have to wait for like a minute or so just so it settles everything in the backend. But yeah, it sometimes it takes even less time than that. So I'll just input the password here which I've created. Sorry. Right. So click on sign in, and now it will prompt me to update a password. So now, as you can see, we have just updated the password, and yeah, and we are successfully logged into our account. But now, as you have seen, we haven't given any of the permissions to this user, so it might not be able to do much here. But yeah, just so you know, we have created a user successfully with our new custom domain name. So yeah, that's it for this video. If you like this, do hit on like and subscribe, and give your honest feedback in the comments. So yeah, thank you. Till next time.